appropriately day 5 of our Rokr marble run, London build, and it's looking pretty fine, isn't it? I haven't tested them this morning, so everything seems to be working. Looks like there's a loose wire, I tell you guys. I hope not. But it is all in and doing its thing. See how it's filtering there? Sounds like you loose wire to me. But I will check all the wires before I seal anything up anyway. Alright, one thing that you also need to do once you put this sign on, which I realised once I edited that it hadn't recorded. So you make the sign up as I said, and then pull these wires through. Mine's a bit longer than it should be. It should be inside there a bit more. I might be able to push it down. The other thing you should do is, let's turn this off, is put the wire, there's a slot at the back of here, and you put the wire into that slot and across. Now, because my wires are delicate, I'm actually not going to be pushing it across. I had a go at doing it, but I think I'm going to have to put too much pressure on the wires, and I don't want to do that. Right, anyway, let's move on to step 7. So step 7 is again quite a big step. We are starting to work on some of the upper floor, but by the end of 7 I think you have a lot of it in place, to be honest with you. That said, I'm not sure we're going to get to the end of it. Huge steps again, and I wonder why they do that. I mean, I was thinking, like, you've got some companies who every tiny one piece you might put in counts as a step, and then you've got this one where they're so huge, and I'm not sure as the reason. And I'm sure it's to do with advertising, so that you could say something like, yes, completed in 8 or 9 steps, you know, whereas others might be, it's a 100-step process. Anyway, whatever. Alright, so we will be starting with these 2 pieces here. So very straightforward, I say. We will be putting one in here, that little slot right down here, the other one all the way over to here. Now on here, these towers, there's 2 slots, one down here. I'm not going to see with my hand in the way, plus I dropped it. So one down here, and one, whoops, a little bit higher. You want this piece in the lower one and the next piece in the higher one. So let's get that round the right way so that it has this on there, and hopefully this will help this all pull forward a bit better as well, although it's only resting on top, so who knows. Oops. Can't get the angle to put this in. Oops. Really can't, obviously. It'd be nice if this had been done before it was installed, huh? Or at least put into one of the pieces. Maybe then too many to juggle. Right, this time, haven't had breakfast yet, I'm going to go with that. I just can't get the angle right on the piece, and I don't. Oh, we can jiggle. We're in. Didn't want to break it, obviously. Right, and these have a little bit of flexibility, this tower. Not too much, but a little. So we can pull it out a little bit, push this in to where it should be. So that one's in, this one's in, and make sure your cogs are still there. Okay, so that is all in, and then we are going to do identical to this one, which will go over the top here. So I'm going to put it this time in here first. I'd love to have done it up the other way so it didn't show the part number, but of course we can't do that. Right, so out again a little bit, because this should be easier to put on top of that. Oh, totally destroyed it. Just make sure that your pieces underneath are back to where they should be. Which this one in reality is saying, I believe now. Well, that's in. Just one underneath come out. I sometimes just don't like to make these things too easy. There we go. And then flip this over the top of here. Assuming on this one. Never assume, never assume. It is. So a really weird angle for it there. Because this light feels so crooked. There we go. In it goes. Okay, so now those are on, we can actually put this to one side. And we are totally ignoring it for a little bit. So we need these pieces to continue. Like I say, step 7 is rather on the large side, as they all have been really. So first things first, we need to grease in here. This is kind of cool, the thing we're doing now. I looked at it, obviously I pulled the pieces, so I looked at it and I actually think it's kind of cool. So it just says on this part. Okay, and we start with this big piece here. You can see what we're doing. Alright, with the grease side towards you. Okay, that goes in incredibly easily, by the way. And then followed by, see if I can find this little piece. This piece here, to be using plastic pieces for this one too as well. And a straight looking piece for this one. And we are putting it with the decorative side away, like so. Pop this in here. Just make sure I'm putting it in the right place. Yeah. In here. And then this is going to fit on the front of this one. Does it reach all the way to the other one? It does, all three. And put in the one we just put on in the middle. So, well, it's going to be secure. I don't want this going anywhere. It has four points to go inwards there. Okay, and that's on. You can see I did a little decorating. I didn't do much. Nevertheless, it's still, for this whole thing, this is a lot of decorating, isn't it? Okay, we are just putting one of these on the end. We don't need the tool for this at this stage, unless you can't get them in. Hold on. Alright, and then we take this piece here with, they've all got arrows on them. Let me see which piece they're talking about. They look very similar, and they're marked, Like this, I have to get the book out closer to me. So you take this piece with G19, which is the one with the slope, and that points downwards, like so. So you've got the arrow going down. Then we take the bigger piece, which, why do I not have? Doesn't look like I have it. Oh, it's one of these. Never mind, I totally lied. So, and these arrows point towards this one. You'd think it would not, but it is the way. Put one on one side, got two of them, so look where your arrows are. It seems to be an important point. So you've got it looking something like so. Doesn't look right to me. Nope, this one's the wrong way round. So basically, it still doesn't look right. Nope. Wow. Okay. That was weird. I had it upside down. Anyway, what you're looking for is a hole at the bottom like this, and that should work. Then we get our little plane, so something different, and we're popping that through here. It's not waxed or anything. Okay, cool, has a little hole in the middle, and that is going on the front here. Guess you're going to want that all lining up, which means my plane's upside down, by the way. It's kind of a bit of a loose fit. So put this in with that upright is in, which looks like it's right. Okay, like so, that is correct. And then, oh, I see, this piece up here goes through here. So it just balances on there. Okay. Then we take this piece, which is going to go, so now we need to put our this through. So put that through there, and then pop this on. I don't say to wax it, but I'm going to. It looks like it's going to be going round. I'm going to wax it here, and then wax it here. And followed by just popping on our sleeve cover. Oh, no, take that back. One, make sure it's all pushed down. Then you put two of these on here. You don't want the sleeve cover to be tight against the propellers. Okay, then you can remove them. Don't know if we're going to need those again. We'll put them in the right place so that I can find them again. Okay, and that's what we have. So we have a plane that moves, and it's obviously going to be on some sort of rocker for the bourne, and we also have this that will go round like so. Alrighty, next we are taking some other pieces here. A few little trays going there. Do we need to wax any of this? No. So we're going to take this piece and we are putting in two. I did not sand these two. I thought I sanded most things on this part. Guess not. I'm going to put this through. This doesn't look like the right piece, but I'm guessing it is. It says it is. So you're putting these on, and basically the back of this will go into here. Not only did I not sand it, it has an extra piece. So let's go here. I think my camera was on the move, so I'm not sure how much of that you just saw. Kind of got to lean to my right a bit now. Okay, and then we put this onto the back, and it's going to go in here. These two, one there, and the center hole is the white piece, the sleeve, the shaft sleeve, the first one we put on. So I guess those are just acting like spacers. Okay. And that is in, and then we are going to take this side, the shorter side, which looks the opposite way. I think I've got a piece on back to front, guys. I think this piece is back to front. Oh man, is it though? I think it might be. It needs to be on that side of the plane. There it is. Okay. Okay, nothing unusual. Let me get that fixed. Okay, so basically it should look like that with these 4 on this side, these on this side. Makes me think I should have coloured that, not just this, but because there's, other than the plane, there's a bit of colour from the plane, and then this piece goes on the back here, which goes in very easily. Okay, it's not tipping out. Okay, next we are going to turn back this way so that the plane's upright, and we are putting in these 4 pieces. So it's up to you whether you put them in this piece first or just put them in this one and pray you can line it up. It's going to look pretty awesome though, isn't it? I think I should have painted these red, at least the arrows. I don't know how much of this you're going to see, but I'm going to get the arrows red. As I move the whole thing and, you know, make the pen go straight over the whole model. Almost. My brush side of this pen I think's run out, so I have to use the fine, which takes it a bit longer. Okay, back to this. Just keep going along. You put 4 in this time. The next time we do this, we'll be putting 7 in on this side. Okay, I'm probably not going to end up seeing those little arrows, by the way. I mean, you know. Okay. Right, move the camera. It's driving me nuts that I had to stretch so far to the right. Right, once that's on, then you take this piece, making sure that that's down at the bottom, and point in with the wider end going that way. So hopefully this lines up quite well. It's hard to know whether to do it, you know, one should have done it on this piece first or on the other piece. And that's what that looks like. That is pretty awesome looking, isn't it? I mean, I did do, as you can see, I did a colour. It's like a bronze type colour to it. Okay, that is in. And then next, oh, we're putting on the model. Okay, did not anticipate that. It was yesterday I picked the pieces. And it's going to go. That's all the wheels. It's going back here. Where we're situating. Oh, it's going back here, I think. Looks like it is. So this is going over where the wires are. So my little wire here I'm going to have to deal with. So I think I'm going to try and pop it in. See if I can get it pushed down. Because this piece is going to want to go flat. If I could tell the wire to go retreat. If I can get at least the bulb down there, would be good. Almost done. Okay. And then this one, the back just fell out. I could see this happening. I'm going to pop tally glue on there. A lot of it, the reason is because it's been in and off the model, and then they do become a bit looser. So I'm just going to put one there and one over here. I don't think it's meant to, well, you know, that's not going to help whatsoever, is it? Because those 2 places don't even touch. But obviously, mind you, this isn't connected for a reason too. Ooh, I don't know. Right, I'm going to let that glue dry. I guess I won't do that. Maybe something else will hold it in place. because I'm thinking that the middle bit has to have something going round. They've done these flats so that they don't go literally inside the, well, it does go inside this, look. I can do that. Make up my bloody mind. So I'm just going to put a bit on here, on the sides. Not much, just enough to hold it. I mean, I've pretty much done, other than my breaks, without having to use any glue on this model. So one little bit probably isn't going to matter. Just making sure it's not anywhere that would interfere. Right, back to where this goes. So the plane goes onto the inside, and this goes over here, and it's got a hole here, so I think we thread this wire up into this hole. That's the aim. And these two go over here. And where are these going? Oh, in here, I think. In here, like so. I think so. Okay, and then this one is on the end there. Okay, that's the way it's going to go. Okay, so let's see how flat I can get this with that wire in the way. Okay, that's on. That's on. This is the only one that's not really on. And I suspected that this might be a hassle. I probably should have done was pulled that wire down a bit. Maybe I wonder if I can. Right, leave it with me a sec. Okay, we got that on. So what I did was I took the front of this off and re-put the wire back down. So I think we're going to be okay. It did look, when I was looking though, that another wire might have broken, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not even looking at that right now. Okay, so this is on, and that's how it looks from the outside. It's pretty cool, like so. Okay, and then we are going to, turn the page. It's telling me to make sure that something is done. Let me just see. Oh yes, it's just saying to put that, make sure that, oh I see, make sure that this piece here is in front of the other one. Which it is, we couldn't do much more, and there's a gap there, here, so it's right, not right next to it. See if you, yeah, I think you can see what I'm talking about now. So it has to have a gap just here, so it shouldn't be dead against it. Okay, which is handy because it's not, even though I never even thought about that when I was putting the thing on. But now it's pointed me in that direction. Now what we're going to do is the others. Wouldn't that have been easy to at least have put it in here before attaching it? But that's not how it went down. Okay, so I'm going to start with these. We have a little thing here that we're going to put somewhere. Where are you going? Let's put you in first, I think. You are going to go in, I think, down here. Oops. I'm pretty sure it's all the way down here. Obviously to stop the ball going down that tube, I guess. It is here. That's not easy to do. It goes in much further than I'm trying. I haven't even got it halfway. Right, give me a sec. Okay, I just needed a little bit of a wiggle, and then that forms a cap on here, so it goes through. Let's see where it's going through. That bottom piece down here. So just going through there. Just needed a little wiggle. But hindsight says it would have been easier to have put these slats on before we put this up. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see which way this is going. This is going that this top is there, so I'm going to test fit in here. Oh, these are pretty easy actually. Well, that's because I put that one on the wrong way. Maybe that's why it was easy. Test fit them first so that we don't get too many hassles, and I know we're going to be threading that wire through this piece too, which I don't want to do, so I'm just test fitting, make sure they all fit reasonably easy, so when it's up there it's not so much of a problem, but I'm not sure why we didn't put these in first. And I guess maybe because you're fiddling around with bits and pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that one, the first one, don't leave that one blank. It's a round hole anyway, it's going to have the wire going through. Okay, so there's a test fitted. Now I'm going to actually put them on the model itself and they can stay there. So there should be 7 of these. They're quite cool though, aren't they? I just don't know what the reason is why you want to put them at least in this part before you put it up. Oops. Oops. Try not to break them. It's weird, this one's really caught. Okay, wow. Go careful. This one's really wobbly for me. It's obviously weakened. I should have started at the bottom, to be honest. Just started at the bottom and worked our way up rather than the opposite way. Okay. Then we are going to take our wire . Right. Take our wire and we are going to run it through this one down here, the first one, all the way. Then the one next to it. Oh, you're putting it through the round one, don't do what I just did. Now, out you go, fella. So, you want it, with it facing this way, you want it going through this one first, the round hole, then this one, let's get a bit closer, then this one, as close as I can, and then it's going to go through here, but I'm going to do that afterwards. And then this starts attaching on here. Just want to make sure that your wire is tight but not too tight before you put this on. Just put it there a second. If this works, I will be pleasantly surprised. And in reality, lining this up is definitely not easy. I think we're almost there. It's a lot to line up. Where's my hook? Okay, so that's in. So then what you're going to do is put your wire through this last hole up here. That'll be in on the end of it. Okay, and I know you're meant to have 4 bulbs. You know, I do have 4 bulbs. I was thinking I'd be short, being I lost 2 somewhere. Okay, so that is how it should be. And next we are going to move on to another ramp. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's pop that to one side. We're on to this piece here. And first of all, we have 3 little things here with like decorative signs. No, they show them as being red, by the way, which obviously they're not. They're not painted at all. And these go in here. Guess this rail needs a lot of support. Maybe the ball is very speedy at this point. Okay, there's one. So I'm going to have them all point in this direction. And they give you 4 of these, so you have got a spare if you have to break it. Okay, and then we pop this one on top. Can only go one way, she thinks. Come on, you can do it. Looks like it's lined up, but make sure you keep the actual piece very straight, this piece here, otherwise it doesn't go very well if you have it at an angle. And that's like that. Then they have it facing this way, and they put this piece on, which I didn't do much decoration, did a little. And it says to have the pitch side inward. They have decoration on it too, so it leaves the top one free. So it goes something like so. Then we pop this one. Oh, I see what we're doing. This one in down here. It's more complex, isn't it? Don't think I have one of the pieces. Oh, there it is. So this one down here, when you get it down, like so. And then this one at the back with the decoration pointing outwards. And this is going to go through here. So, and they do have lines on this, so you can tell which way is the right way and which way is the wrong. So you want this one pointing outwards and to go in and through the others. So I look something like so. In the back, like that. Doesn't look very straight, does it? Oh, it's got a bit of manoeuvrability, what do you know? And then this one goes. Where does it go? Have I missed a piece? Oh, no. So this one goes on back. Trying to see where it's going to go. Oh, I think you see. Okay, so let's see if I can show you. So I think what you're doing is you're hooking onto this, a bit more round. There's a hook just underneath where that plane is. So other way, there we go. That hook there, and this hook here, I think is where we're aiming for. So let's see. And therefore this goes underneath. There's like a slot there as well. And it does have a little bit of manoeuvrability on this piece, which is, I will say, rather handy. plane out the way. Okay, push that down, and then this piece will slot into here. That's a pretty cool crossover, isn't it? I guess that depends on where this rocker goes as to whether it's going to go down that way or this way. And I think this is just free flow. I don't think anything particularly makes the plane propeller work. So if it goes this way, it'll go down here, and if it goes that way, it'll go down here. So either way, it's going to go down there. Okay, so that is in. Wasn't terrible. It was a moment, and their explanations of where it's going, by the way, is not great, but I think that's where it goes. Okay, alright, moving on. So I've got about 3 other pieces that I have pulled for today of part 7, but I don't think we're going to get 7 finished because I stopped at a point that there's still quite a lot to pull. Right, but we will see. Okay. I'd much rather have, personally, I'd much rather have 50 steps smaller, that I feel that I'm progressing, rather than have to make a judgment call of where my steps are going to finish as such. This is not the right pot, by the way, I don't think. No, this is the next one. But this is what we have to come. I didn't know that was decorated. I think it's this one next. No, I don't think it's that one either. Where art thou? I don't know where the pot is. Hold on one moment. This is definitely the next one down. And I know I've pulled this one that I'm looking at, because I recall pulling it. Bear with me. Let me go find it. It was next to it. I've moved it out the way. Silly Billy. Right. So I thought I was done with the pot. I didn't look inside. Okay, so this one I did do some colouring on. We have some strange pieces. We have this little piece here that's going to go. Let's move that out the way a bit. Move that out the way a bit. This one's going to go here, like so. And then get it in. Okay. Then we are doing our little towers going across. They really are. It's one of those pieces that there isn't too many places that you can really push down on. If you want to break something. I hope you get away with doing this, by the way, with no breaks. And I mean, I've always said that this channel is all about I make the errors so you don't have to, and I really, really do hope that that is the case, and that you're able, not to make those errors. Then this one will go in between the two. And they got it the other way around, I think. I don't think it matters, to be honest. But that one here. This would have been easier to have done without having it in the muddle. I don't know if you could have done it without having it in the muddle. Yeah, like I was saying, so yeah, I mean, I kind of make the mistakes, so hopefully you don't have to, and you can find your models turn out to be perfect. I mean, all the errors that have happened, all the breaks, they're not unsurmountable. I mean, they were able to be fixed. Hopefully. The wires are the worst thing, because they're a bit tentative. That one actually did split on me. Be so careful with some of these pieces. Got a little, it's not broke all the way through, but it has now. Alrighty, this is a decorative piece. Anyway, there's not any real reasoning for it, really. So I'm using B7000 as my fixer at the moment, rather than wood glue. Wood glue takes quite a time, and it's sometimes this is the B7000 is a little bit stronger. Where did I put my tweezers? Actually, you can't find them. Did I put them away again? It's possible. Just lining those two pieces up. It really doesn't want to play the same game. Like I say, this particular piece you're not actually going to see. Okay, and then we put all these on the outside, and I tried to cover most of that edging, but I don't know how successful I was. Like the things that poke through have the silver on to match mine. That one did. It's a bit of guesswork, isn't it, sometimes? Knowing which bits are going to poke through. So I don't think there's a particularly right way, order to put these in. Doesn't say there is. The longer ones both have the same part number, and the shorter ones both have the same part number. See, we're never going to see that bit that broke, really. Okay, and that's on. And then we are putting this in to our model as well, which we need to find out where. I think it's to do with this down here. Oh, it is. That's got two right big slots there. So this goes here, and then this goes through here, down here. So I'm going to do that one first, because I think the other one, it will be harder to do once that top's on. I didn't do any colouring at all to this piece, and now I know where it's going. I wish I had. This is not easy to get out, by the way. Give me a sec. Okay, eventually I got there. Like I say, not the easiest parts. And then this one goes on top. There's no right or wrong way for it to sit, and it covers up the whole of where the ball goes, so you no longer see this ball going down. Okay, right, that's that part done. Now to get to the part that I wanted to get on with before. It kind of looks quite cool though, doesn't it, with this on here? It's looking almost complete. So this is all kind of a bit different too. So you've got your piece like so, and you have little pieces, these two up here all the way to the bottom. With these pointing outwards, by the way, these tabs here pointing outwards, and they go from the bottom up like so. Next we have this little one, and that one goes here with this has got little tabs either side, so I don't think it matters really which one that goes on. It's rather intricate, isn't it? Okay. Then we have two weird looking pieces. This big one, are they the same? No, are they? See, 24, 25, they're labelled anyway, so you get 25 to go in first. That's this one, and you want to make sure that this is on the inside. Sorry about that. Anyway, where was I? So we are putting 25 on before 24. So make sure that it's up the right way. This is face it inwards. Almost down. Can't get this one in as easy as I did the others. Oh, it was a bit crooked. So if it's definitely straight, it should be a bit easier. There we go. And then lastly this one, and again without these ends pointing inwards. I say inwards, it's kind of like inwards, right? And that one went in nice. Okay, so we have this, and these are going to go on here. So all the nodules at the top are going to go through here. And okay, can't do it the way I was going to do it. Okay, so these two shouldn't be terrible to do. No, it's pretty easy. Shouldn't say things like that, it really bites me. Okay, one more. So then we have it looking something like that, with nothing being done to these as yet. Okay, now this one's going to go in. We're dealing with those afterwards. And this is the wheel, and it's going from here. So we've got 3 tabs, 1, 2, 3, are going to go in the top of this wheel, and it's going to go all the way over to all the way under here. So I think this hole here at the back, I think that's where it's going. How's that going to get round the plane? Or is it going? Oh no, it's these holes, these two at the top here. So look this way, you will see 2 holes at the top here. It's going to go into there. That's really high up, isn't it, this one? Does it go over? Difficult to tell. Hold on. It's definitely this side. It's definitely going that way. It's definitely going in there. So they're all the definites. But what am I doing with this piece? Is that rolling through? Is it underneath? Let's see if we can get it underneath. Maybe. Yeah, underneath this piece here. Okay, that's in. That's just loose. And then we've got these 3 to put in here. So this base one done. And then that one lined up all on its own. This one wasn't quite so keen. There we go. Don't feel this one is no longer in, nor is this one. So these 2 have popped out. So I'm going to get those put back in. One sec. Okay, wasn't too much effort, to be honest, to be fair. Right, now we have this piece, which is going to go through the hole here and at the back there. I haven't decorated or anything this. And at the back, so the bigger end goes towards the back here, and the smaller one to the front of the model. And or you can break it. Let me go see if I got a spare part. And I did. So the longer end goes through this hole in here. So you see it's longer and shorter. The longer one goes in here. Like so. And the shorter one, oh man, it's pushed all those out. Dang it. Alright, let me get those back in. Okay, sorry about that, it's that time of day I guess. And lastly, after getting this piece in, we will pop this one on the end. And it goes downward. So, purely decorative, but probably also to hold it in place. So So this piece, even though it's the replacement piece, is still rather delicate. And obviously if these keep falling out, I'm going to have to glue them in. Same with this. We'll see, maybe something will come along which will stop it all moving. Alright, moving right along. So next we are going to be playing with these lights again. And it gives very detailed instructions, including a video. So let's see if I can follow this. It's not that piece. It's this piece. Okay, so you need to have 4 bulbs, which we do. And number 1 step is to take it along the top, and you want to have a bulb in front of this checkered piece. Not sure mine's going to work quite like that. That's definitely not going to work like that. Just do the best you can, guys. So you're going to go along the front, then you are going to go through the top here. Let's see where this is going to go. So it expects you to have 5 centimeters over on in between here and here. But it's going to go in. Where's it going into? See if I can find out where it's going into. It's going to hang on here. Oh, I see. So yeah. Okay. So mine's not going to have the bulbs where they should be. It just doesn't work that way. And then down here, in between here. You know how we love that. Then you're meant to wrap it around here, by the way. Come up on this one. I'm not going to do that because I don't have much of it. So I'm just doing the best that I can, but I will explain to you. It does actually give a video as well of where it's meant to go. So I'm just going to bring mine up here so at least I have a bulb at the front. If I can get it in that area. Okay. And then rock it around all the way to the front and end it somewhere like this, which is what's going to happen to mine anyway. So it's going to be something like so. And then you are going to put this on your model, and there's 2 spots, one at the bottom, one at the top. So wiggle and a wiggle, and then I'm going to, once it's in, I'm going to see if I can adjust those lights at all. It is really quite difficult to know where to press. Okay, that's in. So let's see what we can do about these lights. It's going to have to go a bit more this way. Kind of going to be a bit tight otherwise. So I'm going to have a bulb towards the back, unfortunately. Guess I could do it like so. And do something like this. I mean, it's not what they say. So I will explain to you though. So first of all, you bring your strands across and you have a bulb in front of this, show you, this piece here, the grated area. So a bulb will literally sit here. Let's see if I can show you a bit better that way. So you're going to have a bulb sitting here, your first one. Then you will take your wire through the top, like I have, but then wrap it around here and bring it back through at the bottom. Then you will go along the front, so you have another bulb around here probably, and you will wrap that around. There's nowhere to wrap that around. and then you'll bring that all the way to the end and put it down here and wrap it around here to secure it. Obviously mine's not going to go like that, because even though I had 4 bulbs left, it takes 2 just to get to this position. So we're going to do the best that we can. Alright, and it's in spot, so that's the good thing. Now we are going to add the rest of these pieces, which are here. So first of all, and again this was probably easier to do before it went on, is you have this piece here, and that's going to fit up here, so where my wire is catching. So I'm going to do something like so. Anyway, it's going to go in here. I'm going to put the number downwards. It's been easier to have put together before doing the lights, by the way, rather than trying to put it in on the spot. I guess you couldn't do the lights afterwards actually, because of the way the wires go. So one is in, the other one not so much. There we go. So it will look like so. Then we have 2 sides we put in, one smaller than the other. Here you have numbers. So 43 goes to this side, the far side, like so. And the other one goes the other side. I have to move it to here. I will show you. I'm just going to catch my wire in it. Because mine is different, it's hard to know where I can put it really, where it's not going to interfere with the wire, but I can still get the piece on. I don't think mine's going to go all the way because it has that wire in the way. Okay, so it'd be something like you'd have that piece on this far end as well. Then we have a plastic piece which you need to peel. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 sides. Let's see, let's use the spare part here and find out. That's definitely 1 side. I think it's probably both sides. I think you've got 2 peels. There's 1 peel. Just see if it's 2 peels. It is 2 peels, 1 on each side. Yeah. So make sure you take it off both sides then. And they don't tell you to do that, it just says remove protective film, it doesn't say it's double. It's my fun thing to do. I like doing this plastic stuff. There's 1. And 2. Okay, and we'll call it after this. By the way, it's all I pulled for today anyway, but it's coming up to an hour now. Okay, so you've got 2 pieces where they're slightly closer together at the bottom here than those, and those go towards the bottom. So you want to kind of sit them in there, and my wire is like it's obviously traipsing, but let's get them in and I'll show you. I'll try anyway. not easy. Should go under. Right, leave it with me. Right, they're in. It's in. So there's a shorter end to that plastic piece that goes this side. I was trying to do it the opposite way for starters, so that doesn't help. And then we are going to put this piece in front of it with the UK going towards the top. What if they change this? If you had it on a different country, I wonder if it's changeable. But they have something else on it. Oh well, actually, never mind. UK obviously represents London. A load of crap I talk sometimes. I wonder about myself. Okay, and again, I'm going to have to turn this to me because there's quite a few push points. Okay, got the bottom ones in. Top ones are going in. Alright, so that's where it goes, and that's the last of our wiring, by the way. So mine is definitely not perfect, but because of all the wiring problems I had, yours will be. And that's how that goes on. So we will call that as on today. So that's what we have. Let me get the lead and we will test it. Okay, and that is what we have going on. So you can see the lights are up there. Wish mine had been slightly better positioned, but I think in the dark it'd be okay. And I don't have as many choices as you will to make sure everything's in the right spot. I mean, really, one should have been lower, shouldn't they? Makes me want to take it off and do it. I will do that in my own time. Alright, so that's where we are for today. Let me get zoomed out. Okay, so that's how we are looking. It wants to be on the move because the wires. Prop that up somewhere. Anyway, that's where we are. So we've actually done quite a lot, and everything seems to be working very well. Obviously, I haven't tested it with a ball other than that one bit a few days ago now. So what do we have to come? We have the rest of 7, which will go on to getting the Ferris wheel together as well. So in fact, that's the very next thing. So that will complete the Ferris wheel. I need to do some colouring on that. And that will get the Ferris wheel installed, and that's all step 7. Once that is in, then we have step 8, which looks like it's just pieces to finish off. And it doesn't look as intricate as what we've been doing. There's quite a lot of it. Anyway, we may finish tomorrow, and it's a big may. I don't know the answer to this, actually. But we may. It's possible. But that's what we got for today. Do please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do appreciate every single one of you. And also do take care of yourselves. That is the most important thing. Any comments are more than welcome. I will always get back to you. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.